So today we're going to look at this DIY portable lithium-ion power pack. So it needs some updating, so we're going to go through it and see what we like, see what we don't like, so when we build the next one we can do it better and improve. So let's get going. So what we have is a 4S configuration. So there's 24 cells in each brick there, so there's like 4 separate bricks, so it's modular, so they're all paralleled together. So you can take one brick out, and if you want a smaller battery, you can grab that and go. I took one on a trip to Utah once. So it's each brick is 24 cells, so 6 cells in parallel, 4 in series. So it's like maxes out at about 16.8 volts fully charged. So it's a 12 volt equivalent battery pack. So I have it in this cheap Chinese backpack. I threw it over my shoulder once and something broke. So that's what you get for buying a $7 backpack. And like the zippers they break on. I broke 2 zippers. And so anyway, that was a bad move. So we'll fix that going forward. And then I did have this going to those parallel into a 8 gauge wire, and I had this hooked up to a little inverter. It's a Xantrex Pro Watt pure sine wave 600 watt inverter that would stuff into the backpack as well, so I could grab and go and run some AC power, small power items. And so I don't use this pack a whole lot. Every now and then the power will go out in the house for an hour or so, and I can plug in a lamp and that kind of thing. But not a whole lot of use, but it does come in handy. So what we're going to do today is kind of go over it, go through it, see what we like, what we don't like, and move on. And I'm thinking about a 2170, the Panasonic cells that are used in the Model 3 Tesla. So just redoing a pack like that. So a little bit, this is before, so this is circa 2013 is when I built this thing. So this is before I got into capacity matching with the cells. They're harvested cells out of laptop batteries, so that's one area we'll improve. And then this is before I had a tab welder, so I'm going to tear open one of these packs and we'll see what I did to get everything figured out. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's a bird's eye view. Pardon the fan noise. I'm going to work on lights that don't require fans at some point, so we don't have fan noise. So here's where I have the packs held together with some webbing, some climbing webbing, and the little backpack connector guys, so they're held together that way. The wire is actually like 14 gauge house wire that I got from Home Depot. It's like back in the day when I didn't know what I was doing. So definitely flexible wire will be next up. So then we have EC3 connectors and the blue ones there, so we're going to swap those out for XT60s, which I find are easier to put together. So, and then those are all parallel up into this 8 gauge, and I have the end taped off. Hopefully the lighting's okay. That goes into 8 gauge, and that went to the inverter. And then I had separate, there's an EC3 right there that's you can plug in like accessories. So there's some alligator clips, and there's a barrel connector that goes to my battery charger, so I can charge, got portable lithium ion or LiPo battery charging. And then this guy right there, the white guy with the heatsink sticking out, that is a little 4-banger USB power supply. So pretty handy to have around. I don't use a lot, but so what this would do is kind of capacity, like spec wise, I'm not actually sure what the capacity is because I used cells that weren't matched, but I ran an 80 watt TV, an LED TV, a 40-inch, the old Samsung. I did that for about 40 minutes or maybe an hour, close to an hour, so call it 80 watt hours or so. And that was before the protection circuit boards inside tripped off because one of the banks got low. So definitely smaller smaller. The capacity definitely could improve. All right, here we go. This is kind of fun because I built this so long ago. I removed the heat shrink. So let's look at what I did here. So this is a protection circuit board for 4S. It does not have balancing, so that's one thing we'll change. But basically what that does, if you don't know, so it prevents overcharging. So like 4.2 volts a cell, you don't want to go over that. So it'll stop, it'll cut the FETs there. If it overcharges, it'll prevent over discharging at like current. So I don't know what current rate they are. I've forgotten. 10 or 15 amp maybe, and then in parallel you get 60 amps maybe out of the whole pack, something like that. So it'll limit the current at one shot, and then it'll prevent over discharging, which is it won't let the cell go down below a certain voltage. 2.5 and on a lot of the data sheets I see, or somewhere around 3 volts sometimes on a lot of protection circuit boards. So anyway, you can kind of see what I did here. So these are cell holders, 18650 cell holders. They were series cell holders for 3S, right? So there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I removed the series wiring hardware and then made them parallel. So basically we have these two are in parallel, which is 6 cells. These two are in parallel, which is 6 cells. These two are in parallel, which is 6 cells, and so on. And then these batteries are series to make your 4S. So you got 6 parallel, 4S. So this is tape for the terminals. That worked out good. This is called, it's like Nashua tape. It's clear like duct tape. It's really fantastic. I can't find it anymore, so I'll probably save that. So let's take that off and look at the terminals that I came up with. All right, here we go. So I got the tape off and rolled up and saved. This is how I managed to connect cells together pre-tab welder. So it's pretty ridiculous what I went through. So here are these bus bars. This is copper. It started out life as a quarter-inch thick, 3/4 inch wide bus bar, and then I bought a non-ferrous metal cutting blade that I went to my buddy's house, used his radial arm saw to rip that bus bar in half. So this is a half, which was just, the saw was making all kinds of atrocious noise and all this. Anyway, so that's moving on. This is hardware, like 1/8 inch hardware, and then the head of the hardware fits on the inside. Basically that's the terminal, the connection. The battery connects to that, and then there's springs on the bottom side, and then you have a little nut holding the bus bars down to make, so this is parallel, and then the other side down here would be the series connection there, and then parallel, and then here's a series connection. So pretty crazy what I went through just to make this pack. Now with tabbing and tab welders, so anyway, that tab welder opens the doors up for you. So here's kind of the other side. I have these ring terminals hooked up, and that goes to the that's for the sensing, the different cell voltage sensing to the protection circuit board. So, and I forgot to mention, this is a balance. It's a balance lead. So you got one. So when you plug it into a balance charger, you can balance, make sure each cell bank is at matched voltages. So those were all paralleled as well. So the 4 big packs together were parallel, so all the cells could be connected to each other. All right, so looking forward to the new and improved version. We're going to get a better backpack. I'm going to use more flexible wire, and then we're going to capacity match the cells. I'm going to use a little bit newer cells. I want to shoot for the 2170 cells, the Panasonics from the Model 3 Tesla. So a little bigger capacity. and I haven't played with them yet, so that'll be fun. So hopefully they'll be new-ish or newer and better match cells. These ones were harvested from laptop batteries, and this is before I capacity matched cells. So that was a little detrimental to the performance of the pack. Still useful, but not as good as it could be. So obviously we're going to tab weld these things, the new packs, versus all these holder business and expensive hardware and time-consuming, labor-intensive construction. So that's going to be new and improved. That's going to be much better, a lot better. It'll be a big improvement. Also, let's put this in the frame here. So that'll be the new protection circuit board. It's got balancing, so it's a 4S 30 amp. So with the balancing, I've learned with balancing it's handy to have, nice to have. So what you can do is just put, so it tops out, this pack tops out at 16.8 volts, just put like 16.81, 16.9 volts to the pack with like a current control module, boost module, or a buck converter, and then the protection circuit board has some resistors to bleed off high cells, so it'll match, it'll balance the cell banks, it'll balance the cells at the pack level versus having a smart charger that balances at the charger level. So kind of the brains are in the pack, so you can have kind of a dumber charging situation set up. So that's going to be pretty cool. So that's 30 amp. And then what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm thinking a 40, two packs. So I have 4 here, 4 big packs. I'm going to go 2 packs that are paralleled, 2 packs of 40. So I think I'm going to go, depending on size and how it's going to work, I think I'm going to go 10 cells in parallel for each pack, and then 4 series, so 40 cells. That would make our 4S pack, and then 2 of those, so basically 80 cells in the 2 packs that would be configurable, modular, right? So there we go. This pack's been useful despite its shortcomings over the years, and hopefully I touched upon some things that might help you out if you're kind of in the same ballpark. So look forward to the new pack build. Thanks for watching.